The following program contains spoilers, inappropriate language, and sexual tension so thick you could cut it with a gentle handshake. Listener discretion is advised.
What racist thing were you saying, David?
No, I was just about to comment on your impression of Chinese people that you were just doing. And it was spot on. Like, it was so good. I think that the people, they need to see it.
Thank you so much for tuning back into another episode of Once in a Full Moon, the show where we get to learn each other's tastes in films before we learn how each other tastes. My name is Keith Brooks, and with me, as always, is my interesting host, David Haddad, who once said, and this is a direct quote, Kanye West has some interesting points.
Don't take that shit out of context. Don't take it out of context.
David,
all right. So yeah, maybe I said that, okay, but like there was a whole conversation, and I think I was drunk, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Is that my microphone rattling, or is that yours?
There was a microphone. I think it was my microphone. I'm looking at the thing right now, and it looks like it was my microphone. I was moving around too much.
Yeah, it looks like your microphone's sounding like a fucking maraca. What are you doing over there?
I'm just standing. I'm just hanging out. I just got my standing desk. I got this camera I need to fix. It's like off to like, I guess like at a Dutch angle right now, but that's fine. Let's just do it that way.
You look like a Batman character that's broadcasting to take over the world. I forgot how we do this show because it's been so long because somebody refused to watch the movie. We are watching today another episode. We're watching another full moon film, The Lurking Fear, which is an H.P. Lovecraft adaptation. David, can you tell me what The Lurking Fear was about?
No, I can't. It's actually, so I watched it so long ago that I forgot like most of the things about the movie. But thankfully, ChatGPT got me. So let me go ahead and get you the thing from ChatGPT.
Awesome, let's do it.
Yeah, and we were not sponsored by ChatGPT or whatever. This is just like way better than I could type because I'm not really great at typing. We're super literate. Well, look who's back for more of The Lurking Fear. This 1994 horror film produced by Full Moon Entertainment and loosely based on H.P. Lovecraft's short story has got some seriously spooky tricks up its sleeve. We're going to revisit what short story later on. Let's start with practical effects, shall we? The team behind the humanoid creatures lurking beneath the holy grounds deserve a round of applause because they really outdid themselves. These creatures are the stuff of nightmares and will definitely make you jump out of your seat. And let's not forget about Jeffrey Combs, the horror legend, who delivers yet another creepy performance as the town doctor. But it's not all about the scares in The Lurking Fear. The film also has an interesting premise. With a heist gone wrong storyline that takes a supernatural turn, it's a unique twist on a classic genre that keeps you guessing until the very end. And while the subplots may be a bit underdeveloped, the characters are still intriguing enough to keep you invested in their fate. ChatGPT gave me a lot of time. Plus, the movie does have its fair share of jump scares, but they're not all cheap shots. Some of them are genuinely effective. And when they're combined with the eerie atmosphere, they create a truly spooky experience. So all in all, The Lurking Fear is a horror movie that definitely deserves a watch. If you're a fan of practical effects, Lovecraftian horror, or just a good old-fashioned heist story with a supernatural twist, then this movie is right up your alley. Sure, it's not perfect, but it's got enough going for it to make it worth your time. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and prepare to be spooked.
I love the fact, I think this is the first time that ChatGPT threw some fucking shade at a movie. Like, it's bad when even artificial intelligence is like, ugh, dude, cut some corners on the budget. Like, it's pretty rough.
But yeah, I just go for it, man.
No, what do you got to say?
Oh, I was going to say, no, legitimately, though, I had written a lot of stuff about the movie, and then it had just been so long between podcasts, I forgot most of that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Um, well, let's go ahead and check out the trailer. I'll give you a second to pull that up. We're gonna watch that and see what we feel about that. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, and go.
Play. Such a good intro logo.
What you really are inside, a killer. That's part of
That bad guy was my favorite guy. The guy who's beating the shit out of, my favorite guy in this movie.
Lefferts Corners.
Yeah, it's a nut.
That's my favorite guy. Well, I like her too.
I'm just here for the money. One of you dies every 10 minutes till I get it.
Sawed-off shotguns are so cool, man. They're so cool.
Storm's coming in.
Come on, Father. These damn things have been living under our feet and tearing us apart for 20 years.
I know that better than you.
I'm sort of just mesmerized by the trailer.
Yeah, it's an amazing trailer, and I love practical effects. And
Me too.
I don't think I could say enough how much I miss fucking squids, man. I wish we would bring them back for movies, just because I really like when they go good because they look so good, and I love when they go bad because it looks like a plastic bag exploded on someone's back.
Absolutely. And like that trailer makes this movie look pretty fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I agree with ChatGPT. I don't think it lives up to what that trailer makes it look like. Well, what are your feelings about the movie?
I really, really enjoyed the movie. I think there were a lot of like really, really funny points in the film. I think that I really love like the models for the church that they had set up and they blown up. There's another thing I miss about those older films, those older flicks. And then something I love about indie movies is they'll just pay a guy to make something out of popsicle sticks and they'll blow that shit up instead of like paying some dude to make it up on a computer. Yeah, the miniatures are just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the lead is probably the weakest part of the movie, though I think he would have made a perfect Gambit if they made X-Men like in this time period when David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury, you know what I mean? Like he would have been a perfect Gambit. I love that I love the monster design. I think the monster design is absolutely perfect. I like Jeffrey Combs. What give me some more thoughts.
Jeffrey Combs is absolutely amazing. I thought the monsters were super cool. I like the opening where the monsters have like they're using all these tools to like try to get that baby. I mean, you saw a bit of it in the trailer.
The
but
coat
then
hanger to get the baby, yeah.
and then that's sort of rough. But then like the lady, she gets too close to the hole and they're just like, fuck this. They just grab her and they just rip her through like this entirely too small hole. And there's just like this gory scene. I love all the gore in this film. Yeah. I love the actor who plays the Undertaker, the guy who was in Ghost.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that guy is like super, super amazing. I think that I really dug him playing like kind of like the sleazy mortician in this movie. What else? I really
I think when they drag that girl through, it's like literally it's just a hole in a wall, but they make it look like she went through a garbage disposal. Like she's instantly disintegrated the minute that, and I get confused about, so the sister takes care of the baby. Is that baby the pregnant girl that we have in the rest of the movie?
I don't know what happened to is that the pregnant girl? I don't know what happened to the baby. And I'm just realizing that right now. I just realized right now I have no idea what happens to that baby.
See, I think that's what happens. I think the first scene takes place 20 years or 18 years prior to this. And the baby now grows up to be pregnant. And I always had the feeling that, and I don't think anything supports it, that she's pregnant with one of the monster's kids.
Yeah.
It's sort of what I've got the vibe of, but I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be intended or not.
I feel like that tracks. I also feel like there's a shout out to OG Lara Croft because that's what that lady's like that whole film. Like she deals with her sister's horrific blender murder, and then later on she comes back and she's just like always rocking a gun, uses explosives. I really want to know what happened in that period of time because I don't know if she left Lefford Corners or not, but
Yeah.
she probably did because she had to learn how to use explosives and guns and fighting.
Well, I mean, but I also think if you're under siege of a town that's operated by albino monsters, you probably figure out a couple things as you progress, right? But yeah, but I think Jeffrey Combs is a staple for not only H.P. Lovecraft stuff, but also for Full Moon Pictures. And this is the first of the ones that we've seen that has him in it. But so fun to see him and his just addicted alcoholic character is absolutely great, disgracing a church left and right. And the thing I'll say about Full Moon movies, the chicks are always hot. Always
Yeah,
hot.
100%.
Always. Yeah. It's a lot of whitewashing. A lot of white people, but they're still hot white people. So I like that.
I just love like the crazy bad guy lady who's like she just wears just a dinner jacket and a bra, and that's how she takes hostages. Like all of these bad guys, their characters. I just want to know their backstories because they're so freaking cool.
I just want to know somebody like her. I just want a friend that just wears sports coats and bras everywhere they go. Not you. I want a different friend that just does that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta pick those words careful because I mean,
Yeah.
like I can feel that. I can do that. I feel like I can do that.
But the bad guy, the British bad guy, I feel is just like straight out of an Uwe Boll sort of movie, like a 90s game adaptation sort of thing. And that's fun. The one guy that you like was Mustache Ride McGee or whatever his name was. That was your favorite character?
That guy was so cool. Like he wore one fingerless glove the whole movie, and you never find out why. That's just what that guy does. I'm actually pretty sure because there's a picture of a dead body that's early on in the film. I'm pretty sure they just shaved that guy, put him in like really bad wax paint, and then they just have him play a dead body. Like in the very beginning of the movie.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. I wonder, oftentimes when we see these bad guys that feel so disparate from each other, I want to know, like, how did you guys get together? Was it like a Facebook group, or did you meet at, like, you were all robbing the same bank and we're like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to know what their connectivity is, because Mustache McGee like seems cool with betraying British overlord like pretty quickly when Gambit offers something up to him. So
I thought that guy was the guy from Lost for the longest time. Like I thought he was just like I sort of like did this guy go on to play like I guess
Sawyer.
like the guy from Lost, Sawyer from Lost, but no, it's I guess like it's just his own guy. And I thought that guy, I mean, yeah, he did kind of a rough job in the movie, but everyone else is like super good.
Yeah, the guy from Lost went to my high school.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, that's kind of neat. Him and Travis Tritt, but that's a different thing. Yeah, like so you said you wanted to talk about the H.P. Lovecraft of it all. What do you want to say about that?
Oh, I wanted to ask you about the H.P. Lovecraft of it all because I'm not 100% sure on what story.
So yeah, the story is called The Lurking Fear. It does not have a robbery thing involved in it. But the main character is an unnamed monster hunter who goes to Tempest Mountain in the Catskills after reports of attacks by a group of unidentified creatures against the local inhabitants. And that sort of like idea of you are related to the monsters, that somewhere in your family line there is something inappropriate, inbreeding, whatever. That's a very big Lovecraftian theme, because Lovecraft just likes when people have sex with things that aren't human, and racism. He likes those two things.
Yeah. Big on that.
Yeah, his stories are super interesting, and the short story Lurking Fear is broken into like 5 different chapters, but it is a good story. This is a modern version of that, and it has like convertibles and shit, where the original was like in the 1800s, as are most Lovecraft stories. But I do think they do a great job of like, I don't know, capturing some of that. To me, Lovecraft always feels dirty. Like that's the thing that you have to get across, because it is about, there's one story he has where a guy gets shipped a skeleton and he finds out that his grandfather started fucking gorillas and produced this off-breed, like, and he is the descendant of these gorilla men hybrids, right? And so there's something just unnatural about that. And I think a lot of Lovecraft stories have that. And there is this sort of, you go to this town where this unnatural thing has sort of taken over and built a dynasty, and it feels uncomfortable. And maybe that's why my mind goes to, oh, well, that chick, she's pregnant with a monster baby. Maybe that's why, because my, forebode knowledge of who Lovecraft is. But I think it is like an interesting tone to the movie because it feels almost post-apocalyptic. It feels like The Walking Dead or something like that, like in the middle of this dark, stormy night.
Yeah, I just remember when Sawyer pulls up into the town and he gets out of the convertible, whatever, and the only person that's around is a little kid who's wearing a see-through clown mask and is just like standing in the middle of like what looks like this destroyed place. And I'm just like, bro, it doesn't matter how much money is in that dead body. You should just go.
Yeah,
Like just bail, man. Like it's not going to be worth it. But then he proceeds to go to the to the church. And one of the issues I have with the church scene is that, I mean, I love full moon movies. They they make it happen with the money that they have. But there's this like there's this wrought iron fence and this cool gate, and the guy checks it, it's locked, and he decides to like climb over it. But in the shot, you can see where the fence ends, and it's just like it's just like corn. You can just like walk 20 feet past it and then like and then come back, and then you're in this cemetery that's been wired with dynamite. But then also like that's so good. So
yeah, if they would have just done this like a bunch of times, I feel they would have solved a lot of problems with some of the effects stuff. But I still feel that some of the practical effects are great when the priest is talking to the creature and you see the creature in the mirror or through the window. All that shit looks great. And I think the creatures themselves look pretty fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think there's some cool gory sections of the film. I'm trying to remember because it's been a while since I watched it now. Gambit, I thought Gambit/Sawyer I thought was the worst. I don't mind the pregnant girl at all. That's fine. Does she have the baby in the movie?
I think that it starts to happen. I think that she does. I'm not 100%. I'm pretty sure she does though.
Okay.
I mean, at least that whole business starts. I think some of the fights in the movie are great. There's some really cool like segments of the film where one of the characters, the Sawyery character, gets like drug underground, and like he goes through like this tunnel thing, and that's where all the monsters are. And there are, I guess, some sequences that aren't like fight sequences, but they're very, very exciting sequences that I think they do a good job on. And again, with the great creature design, the way that these I guess like these things look just like a step to the left of humanity, I think that's really, really, really cool.
It's giving off some like Descent vibes, and I like because I love The Descent. I think that's a great movie. I don't know if have you seen The Descent?
No, I have not seen The Descent.
How have you not seen the fucking Descent? That's you had this vapid look on your face of like,
it wasn't that vapid. I was gonna try and play along, but it was gonna go badly because you would ask me specific questions like you always do, and I'd be like, "Yeah, man, that's cool. I like it when there are people in it."
Descent is incredible. It's about a bunch of hikers go into a cave and they find bat people, and it's just incredible. You should go watch it. But these monsters have sort of a Descent vibe, except for a little bit hairier. And I love all those interactions. I like their little lair that they have, though. For them being as like blind, lost lake sort of animals, that layer seemed a little bright. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think my favorite character is like a high kicking assistant bra girl, like because even when she's outside, she does some like fight sequences and does those like fucking high kicks, like she's Booker T from the WCW, and I really enjoy that.
See, I like Sawed Off Shotgun Guy. I think that he really cemented like, for me when he came out and he had like the one leather like glove, and then he like cuts the mortician in half with the double barrel. I'm like, sweet, that guy is awesome. And then he just goes on to play like the most stereotypical bad guy of all bad guys. I think one time, like I guess like he's threatening Sawyer and he's got like a Bowie knife and you don't even see where it comes from. He just gets it out, man. It's just like really, really cool. Obviously, he dies relatively early on because he's just too strong for the movie. But I wish that he didn't because he was a really, really good character.
But I don't understand why you don't just rock the mustache and the fingerless glove. If you love him so much, why don't you try to pull that look off?
I can't pull it off. That's just, you have to have a certain level of power in order to do that, and I just don't have that.
I've never seen you with just the mustache like that.
It's not a pretty sight. It's not. It's not good.
It's so dark though. Like I would imagine it just looks very masculine. You know what I mean? Like because I have this ginger bullshit on my face, so it always just looks like I got a nosebleed if I just have a mustache. But yours is so like prominent. I
just feel like the rest of my face, like I grow a beard for a reason. The rest of my face, it just needs it. It just needs it because it just needs a little bit of help. It just fills it out a little bit better.
Yeah, beards are the male version of makeup. Definitely. Not saying that males can't use makeup. Some of us do, but whatever. Yeah, I didn't give a shit about Mustache Guy. I do like the fact his body is thrown back in. They're like, because even the fucking monsters don't like Mustache Guy. They take him, they kill him, they're like, oh, gross, and then throw him back into everybody else.
Yeah. They chuck him back into the church. There's a really cool like heart getting torn out of a guy scene in that movie. I thought that prosthetic heart, like that looked really, really, really cool. And I thought the gore looked really good. I thought the gore was really good in this movie.
Yeah, I don't think the gore is ever a problem in these movies. I think sometimes the connective story tissue, I think the biggest problem I have with the movie is the suspension of disbelief of the idea that this town has been overrun by monsters for 20 years and nobody else in the world knows. Like, because it doesn't feel isolated enough for. I mean, it feels isolated, but it doesn't feel like. I don't know. It's not hidden in a fucking mountain or something. You know what I mean? And we have telephones. Call a motherfucker. And if all these gangsters know where this town is, I bet somebody else knows where the town is as well. So like, how has this been allowed to happen? Call Batman. What the fuck are you doing? You know. But that maybe was just me. Did you run into any other issues with the storytelling or anything like that?
Yeah, I feel like it just did feel like this place just. I mean, it didn't really feel like it was protected out in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't just some hidden holler that you had to like traverse like these crazy wild mountains to get to. It was just like in the Midwest somewhere, in places you just drive through in the Midwest. And it didn't even feel like, I guess, like the monsters had any particular special ability that would have precluded people from finding the fucking place. I mean, they like just lived in some crypts and they ripped people apart and wanted to make more monsters, but they didn't seem like they had like a power that like kept the place fucking secret or whatever. It would just someone would go to it and they would just be like, "Hey, what the fuck's wrong with this place?" And the monsters didn't like fuck with people too much. It only seemed like they fuck with people in that like little churchy area, like.
And only when there was a storm. Like that was only when it rained. And so like, you know, I think there's a shot in the movie earlier on, you see it in the trailer where they're trying to do a Children of the Corn thing when you see the girl that's all fucked up and stuff. And so it makes me compare it to Children of the Corn because it's a similar situation where an entire town has fallen, but it then behooves the people in that town to not tell anybody else because only people left in the town are the ones running it, right?
Yeah.
And we can assume that fall happened within the past couple of years, not 20 fucking years of monsters dominating the world. You know what I mean? And so, and the people that still inhabit this town of Monster Town are human. So it would behoove them to contact someone else. So just the failure of logic there and trying to make it more realistic, where I feel like the story plays better in the original version, because it is in the 1800s and mass communication is more difficult and these towns can exist in that small structure, you know? But even
I just don't understand why any of these fucking people stayed there. Like, I don't understand why, like, any of these folks are like hanging out in this place. I guess outside the fact of like, you know, they're going to be like the thin red line, but just get the lady that's pregnant away. Like, just bring her to like Davenport or whatever fucking like city is like close to you in this fucking world.
Yeah.
And then don't bring her to the showdown with dynamite. Like, that's a bad idea.
Terrible idea. Terrible idea. I just feel like that's where the movie suffers. Some of that connective tissue, some of the real world logic. If you would just give me another rewrite that results in all of us in that church, I'm fine with it. That's cool. But there's also other people in this town. We know that. And are they just sheltering like in place? Is that what this is? I don't know. I'm upset thinking about it.
They just hit a Holiday Inn Express like up the main, like I guess like the interstate. Whenever it's going to be rain, like they just go there and just like, nah, I just don't like being at home when it rains because
Yeah, that's fine. That would be great. That would be great. And then that way you could live. It'd be a timeshare with the monsters, and that would be completely comfortable. I think, but I don't know. The movie's fine, I guess, if you could just ignore stuff. If I can just be like, yes, I just have to buy into it. Here we go. Then it's fine. I do like the monsters. I like Jeffrey Combs, but there's just an air of stupidity across the whole thing. That's how I feel. I'm disliking it the more I talk about it. You talk about it. I'm pissing myself off.
Well, I thought it was perfectly serviceable as like a nice like popcorn movie to watch. I think I had a great time just kind of like sitting through it and seeing it go from one thing to another thing. I felt like a movie in the 80s, like where it didn't really have to be good. It was just like I watched explosions and it was just kind of it just sort of kept me in like I guess like for most of the way. There were a couple of moments where like I would yell at the screen, go like, why the fuck is anyone at this town?
Yeah.
But I didn't leave or shut it off, even though, you know, we were supposed to watch it for a thing. I feel like even if I was just watching it to watch, I would have been like, hell yeah, whatever. That's dumb. Let me shout at some more people doing dumb stuff in this movie. Like, and I feel like that's part of the way I enjoy these full moon movies is I'll just go like, oh, you're being really dumb right now. But I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for the dumbness. I think this is one of the ones though that I have to be stoned to like really buy in the entire way. But I could still enjoy it to a degree without being stoned, but the weed helps. So, you know, normally we have certain things that we're trying to look for in these full moon movies. Special effects. The practical effects I think were great.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any sci-fi mumbo jumbo in this one.
Yeah, I don't think there is either.
I don't remember what the rest of the stuff was. Titties. There were no titties.
I mean, sports coat, but like in a bra, but like I guess that's no explicit titties.
Yeah, there was something keeping me away from those titties. There was cloth, and I don't like that. Yeah, I think those are the only 3 rules I remember. Do we have any other things that are trademarked?
Well, it sets you up for a sequel. Like, they set you up for a sequel at the very end. There's the whole like, you know, monologue about Lefferts Corners and the main character finding out that he's descended from these monsters and like what's going to happen next. Because they're looking to like I guess like turn into a franchise, which I like. They're really super business minded. They're like, let's see if we can roll this in some more cash.
Yeah, I love the title. I don't know where you would go with the title for a sequel. I mean, I guess it's Lurking Fear too, but the Lurking Fears, I don't know. It doesn't really service itself to a Die Harder type of thing. But I think the title's metal as fuck.
Yeah.
So overall, I know this is a short episode, but I kind of have to pee. So overall, what do you think about it? Do you give it a full moon, quarter moon? I forgot how we do all this stuff.
I give it a half moon. I guess like a half moon and a quarter moon. If I could do that, I feel like we're still establishing stuff. So that's
you get a half moon and a quarter. So wouldn't that be like 3/4 of a moon?
3/4 of a moon. I'll give it 3/4 of a moon. That's what I'm doing.
That's lame. I'm giving it a quarter of a moon. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It was okay. I love Jeffrey Combs, so he wins a lot of points for me.
Yeah, I love Jeffrey Combs too.
What are we watching next?
Bad Channels. What's that about?
I think it's about like a TV station or a radio station with aliens or something like that.
Okay. So, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun time. So we'll see you in 9 months when we watch Bad
It won't be 9 months. It'll be less time than that this time, probably. I don't know. I don't make promises. I shouldn't make any promises.
I like your standing desk, though.
Yeah, it's good for my back. I like it. It keeps me active.
What's that on your easel? Is that a picture you drew?
Oh, no. That's just some nerd shit.
Okay. No, I like it. It was good. Good stuff. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. And we hope to see you again once in a full moon. David, do your thing.
That's not the best? I don't feel like it's the best. I feel like I shouldn't have done it the first time now.
No, you have to do it every time now. That was good. It held up. I think that really saved the episode.